good morning from Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. Today we're actually leaving the city and we're heading off to one of the strangest, weirdest and most incredible places on planet Earth. Our driver's picking us up in a few minutes, so we're going to head back into the hotel and meet him. And yeah, let's head off for an adventure through Turkmenistan. Как у вас дела?
Нормально. Как у вас?
Отлично.
We're heading north out of Ashgabat with our driver Anton and into the Karakum desert, through small villages and away from civilization. The drive is going to take us around 5 hours, and upon leaving the capital, the roads pretty much disappeared. So it's going to be a bumpy one.
Well, we're about 3 hours into the journey and we don't really know when we're going to get there, but the roads have got incredibly bumpy out here in rural Turkmenistan. Our coccyx are taking a bashing, but it's going to be worth it. When we get there, we'll forget all about the pain, all about the broken ribs, and yeah. Welcome to the place that a little scientific mistake caused doors to open to another world, and it's been burning ever since. Well, this is the Darvaza gas crater, which is one of the most bizarre human-made disasters. This is an absolutely must-see in Turkmenistan. This is one of the most unusual places on Earth. It's been nicknamed the Gates of Hell, and for very, very good reason. I'm looking forward to seeing it later in the evening. But yeah, even now, it is so impressive. So tonight we're actually going to be staying here in the desert in a yurt, and we'll be coming back in the evening. Здравствуйте. Salam, salam. So this is the yurt camp that we're staying in, and the yurts here in Turkmenistan are like nowhere else that we've ever seen, to be honest. They're totally different, and I guess they're much more suited to the desert weather than the yurts that you see in Kyrgyzstan or the ones that are similar in Mongolia, the Gurs. And staying with us in this yurt camp is a family from Oman that I think are on the way over now, and they gave us some of their local Omani milk tea, which is really similar. It's like a sweet version of an English tea. It's absolutely lovely. Cheers. Oh, thank you very much. That's really nice. Мы можем помогать? Нам надо помочь? Нет?
We're going to have some dinner in a bit, wait till it gets dark, and then come back to the crater. But it's going to look very different once it's dark.
So tonight we're going to be staying in this yurt in particular, and we're going to be getting the full Turkmen nomadic experience. So for those that didn't know, Turkmenistan, a lot like a lot of other Central Asian nations, was originally a country or a land of different tribes, and the tribes were all nomadic, and they used to live the nomadic lifestyle where they used to roam across the deserts, the Karakum desert where we are right now, and move their flocks of camels or sheep, and live in these yurts. And this is really interesting because not too long ago we were in Mongolia, staying in a completely different type of yurt. And it's interesting to see both the similarities and big differences between the yurts and the nomadic lifestyle there and here.
If such opportunity arises, I would like to come back and actually spend time with the nomads, with people that still have this lifestyle, because apparently there are quite a few people that live this way. It's quite fascinating.
And on that note, our dinner is currently cooking in the background. We did try and help
I was
with
just
the
about to say,
barbecue.
yeah, they didn't need any help.
They didn't want any help, for sure. They looked at the two of us, they were like, no, you're right. And once it's done, we'll go out and have a lovely dinner here in the desert, and then head back to the crater this evening, which I can't wait for.
Hopefully not falling. I did ask. I asked if anyone ever managed to fall down the crater. Yes, people have fallen down, but they were rescued. They didn't die. They got injured a little bit, but they did get back up.
Which I was surprised about, to be absolutely honest, because I've read about the temperatures inside the crater. So the fact that someone survived that with apparently kind of like medium burns.
Do you know what I think? The fire is burning, but not around the whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe if you can
Fall in the right
hide,
place.
yeah. I think you fall and then you sort of hide somewhere. I would rather not chance that. Would not want to experiment and experience that.
Probably not, to be fair. Wow.
Well, I did not expect this.
It looks insane. Oh my god. The potatoes smell insane. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Perfect, thank you.
Let's walk to the crater. We just met people from Korea that arrived to this camp. Earlier we met women from Qatar, and we forgot to tell you that when we arrived in Ashgabat, there was a massive group of mainly French people, and they were going caving in Turkmenistan, which is, I don't know, I didn't know there are caves here. But this is the peak season to come to Turkmenistan, which is late spring, when the weather is perfect. It's warmed up and it's not too hot, because in the summer it gets to plus 65 here. Anton was telling us on the way that he can get to up to 45 in Ashgabat, but if it's 45 in Ashgabat, he will be 65. Nah.
Minus 65, yeah. Plus 65, no. And actually, on that note, about the group of French people that we met in the airport, they were all, I thought it was amazing, all of them were over 50. So they were like an older group of people going caving. I thought that was just absolutely incredible. How random is that? Like,
Oh my god, it looks so different. That looks so much better. It's impressive now. Before it was like impressive, but not to the extent.
that is insane.
Now you can see it's burning. Oh, and now it will be really nice to stand next to it because it's quite chilly with the wind. We should have brought some marshmallows. Lemon.
Next time.
It doesn't look help.
In 1971, in the then Turkmen Soviet Socialist Republic, Soviet engineers were drilling for natural gas when the rig fell in on itself, releasing tons of natural gas into the air. To try and solve the problem, the Soviet engineers decided to set fire to the leak, hoping it would burn out in a few days, and that would quell any leakage and stop any harmful gases getting into the air. Fast forward 53 years to 2024, and this phenomenon has never stopped burning since that day. One of the most interesting, strange and random man-made disasters in the history of the world. And yeah, in this random piece of desert in the middle of Turkmenistan are the gates to hell. Honestly, in the daylight, it's impressive, but at night time, it's like staring into another world. It honestly is like the doorway to hell. Unreal. It just lights up this whole area, and the heat coming off here is insane, isn't it?
It's actually really nice.
What an incredible place.
We got a little bit lost in the desert on the way back. Managed to find our way. Thankfully we had our phones with us, so we can use the torch. Without a torch, it gets so dark. It's crazy. So when we go back to the camp, we just spend a while talking to other guides from here, and then it's just so nice. I don't even remember what we were talking about. We were mainly laughing, but they were just saying at the end as well, which is stuck in my head, that they keep saying thank you for coming here. It's so nice to see people coming to Turkmenistan, even though the only thing you hear out there is bad stuff about country. And would you believe they have a lot of beetles around here? And one of them, as we were standing there talking, I could feel something scratching my back, and it literally went underneath my t-shirt and was crawling on my back. They're cute. They're kind of cute, but they did freak me out. We're back in our yacht right now, as you can see. Time's getting on, and I think we're getting up quite early tomorrow morning. So I think we're gonna nod off and speak to you in the morning.
Good morning.
We're going to have some breakfast and head out. We have about 4 to 5 hour drive back to Ashgabat, and I think at 1:20 we have a train to catch. So we need to make sure that we get there on time and don't miss our train. Our driver is so casual about everything. We got up this morning, like, what time we're leaving? So I'll just, chill, have breakfast, and then we'll go. Everyone's already left. We're the only ones left at the camp.
Salbo. До свидания. Welcome aboard the 10 to 2 from Ashgabat to Merv, or Mary, in Turkmenistan. The time now is 1:30. We're really excited for this journey in particular because this is something we thought we weren't able to do here in Turkmenistan, which is take a local train, just the two of us, and meet some locals, maybe show you what the train's like. Really excited to see a bit of the country through the window of a train in a type of travel that we love so much. Hopefully we don't get another dead sash, but
oh my god, I meant to say to you, imagine we walk in and dead Sasha's hitting.
He's just laying there like doing his crossword.
I'll be walking out then. No.
But yeah, hopefully we don't get another dead sash. I really hope. But if so, we're only here for 7 hours,
not 5 days.
5 days, so we can pull through. And yeah, on that note, the train's leaving in 15 minutes. So let's head across Turkmenistan to the city of Mary.
As we pulled out of Ashgabat, watching the locals wandering around the station, we were joined by a lovely fellow passenger, also heading to Mare. Filming in general here in Turkmenistan has been difficult, and we decided not to film him or our conversations, but instead to share the beautiful journey eastwards through the desert, skirting along the Iranian border. We were just saying it's interesting how different landscapes look. It was all desert this morning, coming back from the crater, and here we can see that they're growing lots of different stuff. A lot more vegetation and animals.
Приятно познакомиться. До свидания.
До свидания. До свидания.
Вам тоже. Хочешь помочь? Нет? Да? Здрасте.
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 Come, nice to meet you.
Айлин.
Алина.
Алин,
Меня
приятно
Кэмерон зовут.
познакомиться.
Good morning. Last night we ended up going for a shower because it just felt like we were covered in sand everywhere after hanging around in the desert, and went to bed pretty much straight away. Wanted to say that we were watching TV last night and we've seen that there are lots of Chinese and Iranian channels, which was quite fascinating. This was the first time we've ever seen Iranian TV. And this morning we were up quite early. We have quite a long journey ahead of us, so we're heading to Uzbekistan and we're going to do some exploring along the way. Matt's just brushing his teeth and we're about to head out. Today we have an 8-hour drive ahead of us, north towards the Farah border crossing with our new friend Kimran, with a stop en route at one of Turkmenistan's largest tourist sites.
Also, the one thing anywhere touristy here in Turkmenistan is there's no one else around. You are literally here completely on your own to feel the history, the awe of this place. It's absolutely incredible. Some of the most incredible Islamic ruins along the former Silk Road, and some of these buildings date back almost 1,000 years. which is just absolutely insane.
This is the ancient Silk Road city of Merv. We were told that after heavy rains, people still to this day find some old coins and other treasures around this area. We noticed that all of our drivers throughout this trip kept getting phone calls, I would say every 10 minutes, if not more often. On our last day, we were told that it was the immigration police checking up on us and making sure that we're sticking to the route and not heading anywhere that we didn't agree on in our visa applications. We didn't really emphasize enough how difficult it was to film during our visit to Turkmenistan. There are a lot of police and guards everywhere and lots of rules about what you can and cannot film. We always tried our hardest not to film the wrong buildings, etc., and get ourselves or anyone else in trouble. This was the strangest border crossing we've ever had. Obviously we couldn't film any of it, but it was very hectic. There was a lot of different points between which we needed to take little buses and so many different security checks. One lady actually took us under her wing and was helping us out.
Okay, we just got out of the world's craziest border crossing and we're in Uzbekistan. We just negotiated with a taxi. It's an hour and a half's drive. Поехали. Готовы, дети?
For the first time ever, we felt such a deep sense of relief after we crossed into Uzbekistan. Our 5-day trip to Turkmenistan was amazing, but it was also very tough. The whole time we were there, we couldn't really relax, and we were always on edge and on a lookout. And the fact that we were completely on our own with no phone signals or ability to contact anyone if something did turn sour made us want to be as cautious as we could. Our Uzbek taxi driver Jamal was the nicest guy we've ever met. He helped us change our money into Uzbek som and had us laughing the entire taxi journey.
Нормально, охуенно даже. Не, я честно, зачем вам?
Да.
Не 2 миллиона. Директор не знает, просто я за это смеюсь. Вообще чала-чала тоже не знает, братан. Когда русские людей уходят оттуда, сразу Ильнур, пойдем, короче, со мной.
Помогите.
Сегодня американец пришел, братан. Они не могут с ним разговаривать. Я сказал, я буду разговаривать. Они сказали, он не русский, он американец. Я сказал, американец тоже я разговариваю. Я взял, короче, который этот, видишь, голосовой. Я по-русски разговариваю, там американец. Они охренел, бля, нихуя себе, ты что не знаешь? Я все знаю.
Все умею.
Американец написал, там, до Бухареста сколько будет, короче. Я сказал, вы сколько хотите? 100 евро. Он написал. Я подумал, блядь, я скажу сейчас 100 евро, короче, Бог видит, правильно же? Я боюсь Бог. Я вам клянусь, я боюсь Бог, потому что Бог всем видит. Вот. Я сказал, братан, давай по 50. Он вообще, нихуя себе, ты мой друг, короче. Я сказал, ты мой папа. У меня папа нет, короче.
We were also joined by a young Turkmen we'd met on the border, who was finally heading to Moscow to join his family. He was trying to leave the country for 5 years.
Билет найдем, да? Билет, братан, уже все решено. Тебе надо только детей.